this is a foster care family services program that we're trying to bring awareness to. It would make sense to actually have some sort of fundraising event that would be family friendly and bring, the whole family to an event and an opportunity for us to get involved in the community at a different level. So I thought a 5K would be a great, fun event. So the whole idea of having the pre-race party was to get, the runners that are registering for it to come down the night before.
Here you go.
Pick up their packet and hopefully go dine, have a cocktail carb up at one of our bars, and support our sponsors. So that was the main goal, but it was also another opportunity for us to have a presence on the square and maybe pick up, a few extra runners or walkers because they saw us there, they heard the jazz music, and they asked a few questions about what this was for. And the next thing you know, you maybe have our next corporate sponsor, or maybe you just have a runner or walker, but it's one more person standing around the water cooler on Monday morning that can maybe give a few stats about our kids, what we're trying to do to help them not become a statistic, and what makes KidsPeace different.
It really brings a connection between us and what we do with the rest of the community and people who really care about children. And the other thing that it does help us raise some funds that we use in the local community to really help us take care of these children.
So anytime we're doing an event that can bring some of the foster care children to the forefront, and families that are there to sponsor the event can actually see how great some of these kids are. And the truth is, all these kids need are a little bit of extra love, a little bit more time.
Just remember sitting at the baseball game with them and thinking, oh my goodness, these are like talented kids, they're bright kids, and then you, as a mother, you kind of sit there and go, who would ever turn their back on this child? But yet, I don't know the circumstances of why that child is there.
One has to always keep an open mind and realize that each child is different. That most of them go through things that you can never even imagine. Some of them have never known their parents. They come mentally abused, sometimes emotionally abused, and in some occasions, more than I like to admit, even physically abused.
Because they've been denied love and time in their past, so they need a little bit extra to make up for that lost past.
We need to recruit families who want to take foster kids into their home. We need to be able to establish relationships with the people who refer kids to help identify kids who might need services. So it's really important to get the exposure, and this really helps.
So I think the race has the capacity to double year over year for many years to come. We've now got 3 programs to help raise money for our KEYS program, for our internship, for our mentoring program. So, it just continues to grow and expand, and the opportunity to make a difference in these kids' lives because of these programs, I think, is immense.
In foster care, there's this time where you leave one place and go to the next place. And it's only like a 2, maybe 10-minute transition to which a young person is asked to make. This man gave me the keys to his home. Not a big deal, right? Huge deal, because the place in which I left, I was always accused of stealing something. But yet he has taken the time to give me a first-class meal and the keys to his home, to receive the trust that I was yearning in the home that I left. That little key broke down all the barriers I had about going to his home. Those are the 3 things that got me through foster care. I always had somebody to love me. I always had somebody to trust me. Always had somebody to respect me. But even more so, I always had somebody to teach me how to love them. Teach me to respect someone else. And show me how to trust, because that was the hardest thing for me to do, was be able to trust. And I trusted you all had a good time at the run this morning, right?
If you can get through a race day like we did, where it was pouring down rain. You could have thought it was just a miserable day, but as it turned out, there were many blessings that came from it.
You know, it's really the whole essence of giving is that you are the one that gets the blessing.
Was Amy Ritter from Baltimore, age I mean, the people that needed to show up showed up. We had 3 different media channels show up and film it. The overall top placement for men was Ed Armano from Baltimore.
When it's all said and done, as important as originally a baseball game is to me, she keeps reminding me that you got to keep it in perspective.
So I guess, you know, when you sit there and you look at, this was one day. You know, it was just one day, but the impact of that one day on the people that showed up, we'll never know what it meant to them for coming out in the rain and being a part of this event.
More along the line, if the job you've been allowed to have by the Baltimore fans can help impact things outside the baseball part of it, then I'm in.
And it's just like for these kids in the foster care system. I mean, these families that come forward, there may be some very tough, rainy, crappy, cold days, but the sun will come out, and you'd be amazed how bright the sun can shine. We're looking forward to making an even greater impact in the community and in, you know, the lives of these kids that we're doing this for.
I've been waiting 5 years, 2 months, and 3 days for my foster family.
It would be nice to have someone there for me.
So we'll keep showing up, whether it rains or whether the sun shines, but we'll hope for sunshine next year.